Hello world, Shelly here, and it is Sephora sale time. So today I'm going to go through some of my current favorites that you can pick up at a discount in the Sephora sale and what I have on my wish list at the moment. Now I will put all of the dates for the Sephora sale down below for their VIB sale, and depending on your level in their loyalty program, if you're Rouge, you get earlier access and a 20% discount. If you are VIB, you get later access and a 15% discount. And then they have the whole beauty insider thing. I will put all the info that you need to know down below. So first, let's go through some of the things that are my favorite things. What I like to do for the Sephora sale is I typically pick up foundations, and I will get any of my higher end skincare, let my bougie flag fly. And I also love to pick up eyeshadow palettes, so that is usually when I will splurge on some of the higher end eyeshadow palettes. So let's talk foundation. I've got 4 current favorites that I'm cycling through and wearing quite a bit that I would recommend picking up. First, I will say my highest rated foundation of all the reviews I have done, almost 300 reviews on this channel at this point, is from NARS. It is the Light Reflecting Foundation. Mine exploded on my last trip, so it's a messy bottle at this point. But actually it didn't explode. The top came unscrewed in my bag and it just made a giant mess. But I love this foundation. I have put this foundation through, Ziva, get down please, thank you. It's been through every possible mess of my face, whether I'm peeling, dry, flaking, exfoliating, perfect situations, humidity, heat, cool, cold. I love this stuff. I love this foundation. This foundation is gorgeous no matter what I have put it through. It's the only foundation that has gotten a perfect score for me. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful foundation. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That would be my top recommendation. That's not to say I don't wear other foundations. I have hundreds of foundations and I wear a lot of them. These are the ones that live on my vanity right now. So, recently reviewed, loving this one as well. I might even love it a little more than the Grade because I've just been wearing it like crazy. It's the House Labs. This is, what do they call it? The Triclone Skin Tech Foundation, and it is gorgeous and it's really nicely long wearing. And I've worn it a lot. I love its solid medium coverage. Like, you can get really good coverage out of it. And it leans a little bit less dewy than the NARS. Not that the NARS is very dewy, but this leans almost matte. It's like a satin matte to slight, like barely over that satin line toward dewy. I love it. I love the finish. I love the coverage. It's super comfortable. Highly, highly recommend. Before the NARS, my pretty much all-time go-to love it, love it, love it foundation had been for months the Bobbi Brown Intensive Serum Foundation. Still love this foundation. It's very similar to the NARS. I don't think you need both, but it's beautiful finish. It wears through everything. It never makes my skin look worse, even if I'm currently peeling, exfoliating, dry skin. Any situation, it wears really, really well on me. And I love it. It feels great. It's one of those foundations. This one in particular is one that I feel like my skin almost feels better at the end of the day than it did when I applied it. So that to me says a lot because my skin typically dehydrates and deteriorates over the course of the day. So highly recommend the Bobbi Brown. The other one I love, and I can get really nice coverage out of it, and that's expensive, the Tom Ford. This is Traceless Soft Matte Foundation. The cats are just being insane right now, so any noise you hear, it's Ziva and Charlie the kitten being animals. This Tom Ford, one of the few matte foundations that do not dry me out. It's a beautiful matte finish and doesn't make me look dry, doesn't make me feel dry, has really good coverage, beautiful wear. Whenever I find good matte foundations, like I cling to them. I actually have 2 shades of this now because I can't remember if the first one I bought was too dark or the first one I bought was too light. I think the first one I bought was too dark and then I got the lighter shade, but any which way, Highly recommended. If you like a matte finish and you like a good solid medium coverage, I'd go for the Tom Ford. I like the Tom Ford. The other thing I like to pick up is skincare. So I have a couple of my current favorite bougie skincare things. Ooh, this one I'm loving so much, so much, so much. This is actually, I mentioned this in a previous video, and I said it for the first time in that video, and I think I'm going to confirm the opinion today. This Ole Henriksen Strength, the Strength Trainer Peptide Boost Moisturizer. It's my favorite moisturizer. I think it might have kicked the Belif True Cream Moisturizing Balm out of its holy grail #1 status. I still love that moisturizer, don't get me wrong. I just feel like the actives in this has, the peptides are just giving my skin life. It is plumping my skin and making it, I haven't had a product recently that made such a noticeable difference in the texture and the feeling and the appearance of my skin. Now, granted, I'm using it twice a day, and I've been using it for about a month now, maybe a little bit longer actually. But it's good. It's so good. It's so good. So I'm actually planning to pick up another one of these. I'm about, I don't know, what would you say, a third of the way through my tub at this point. It does have fragrance. It smells a little bit fruity. I still have not figured out, if you saw my first video talking about this, I have not figured out what in my childhood it is triggering. It's triggering some happy, fruity, happy, comforting scent, and I can't put my finger on it, but it smells nice. Avoid it if you don't like fragrance in your skincare, but I think it's my new favorite. I think it's my new favorite. Another one I've been loving, also expensive, but I feel like it's doing a lot of good for the fact that my skin hasn't been dehydrating as significantly throughout the day, and I think it's because of this. I've been alternating, so I've been using this. This is my primary morning and night, and then on my nights when I'm not doing any actives, I've been using this. It's the Lord Jones Whole Plant Formula Acid Mantle Repair CBD Moisturizer, and the name just got me. The acid mantle repair, repairing the acid mantle of my skin, making sure that I have got it in the best shape possible, because that's how you're likely to hold in the most moisture, hold in the most plumpness, and look the youngest as far as giving your skin a youthful appearance. So that is what got me on the marketing, but I love it. So, all right, I don't mind paying money for things if they work and I enjoy them, and I like this one. I like it a lot. I'll probably buy another one. I did not buy another one. It was also in the Ulta sale, and I didn't pick it up, but it's because I still have, I'm about halfway through this jar at this point. So I might wait, since I'm kind of balancing two good moisturizers right now. I might hold off until I'm empty on this one before I restock it, but it will be a repurchase of mine. I do love it. Another bougie thing that, you know, I have a hard time like recommending this because I don't know that it's anything better than any other option, but I love it. So I'm going to put it out here because I finally caved and got a full-size version of it. I had been going through the samples whenever you can get the small sizes as the little gifts or the point prizes on Sephora. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, and I actually use this as a primer quite often. It's a moisturizer, but it's also really beautiful as a primer because it's a little bit less emollient. It's thicker, and so it goes on with sort of a blurring look to it, and I really enjoy it as a primer. So I would be using this after I've done all my skincare, moisturizer, sunscreen, waited a bit for the sunscreen to soak in, came to my vanity, sit down, do my makeup, and then I would put this on kind of at the same point in which I'd put a primer on. So, you know, it's hard for me to say you need to run out and get this because you could also use primer. Like the Wet n Wild Impossible Primer, which is what, like $6? Well, you could do that too. I love doing that, but my bougie flag is flying on this one. For sure, for sure. So that's kind of my approach to what I like to buy in the Sephora sale. Let me tell you what I've got on my wish list. Now, these things are all things that I have not tried yet, and so I can't say that they're great. These are just the things that I'm thinking of purchasing. I have not narrowed this list down, and I'm going to have to narrow this list down because this is a very expensive list. But one thing I'm looking at is from Natasha Denona. the Dream palette. So I picked up this is not it. This is it. This is the retro palette. This is the Dream palette and the eyeshadow palette. I love it. I would actually highly recommend it, but I love Natasha Denona palettes anyway. So I'm a Natasha Denona eyeshadow fan, but the Dream eyeshadow palette is the one I have. This is the Dream Cheek Trio. It's getting massively good reviews, and the color of the blush is a little bit deeper and a little bit less pink, a little bit more mauve-y than what I've been wearing, but I do love that tone of a blush. And the highlight doesn't look like it's too gold or warm tone, so I'm thinking about it. I might buy it. I actually have, my favorite highlighter of life is the Natasha Denona Super Glow. And I might actually buy another one of these because finally, this thing is so old. I've had it for years. I finally cracked it on my last trip. It got so close to pan. Well, I did hit pan a little bit, and then it cracked. And so now it's cracked, and not that I can't use it, but it is very old. And while I don't necessarily toss my makeup upon expiration date, if it's still performing fine and it doesn't smell or anything like that, but since it's also broken now, I might replace it. Highly recommend. Favorite highlighter of all of life ever. All of life, and I've tried a million highlighters, but I am thinking about this cheek trio, so we'll see about that one. Another thing on my potential list, so I have been checking out Gwen Stefani's Give brand. This is the eyeshadow palette I'm wearing today, actually, Danger Zone. I enjoy it. So the thing on my list that I'm considering buying, she's got the double dippin' 2-in-1 lip color remover and hydrating lip mask. It's winter's coming upon us, and my lips get super dry. So I love lip masks. I've been trying a bunch of different ones lately, and this being also a lip color remover appeals to me. I'm interested. This seems kind of smart, and I would like to try it. I have two eyeshadow palettes on my potential buy list. They're both Pat McGrath. I love Pat McGrath eyeshadows. The Mothership Mega Celestial Nirvana palette is probably the one I'm going to go with. That is her format. So this is not it. This is the other one. The Celestial. What was the name of this one? I need Sherlock to help me. Wow, Sherlock, you're dirty. Celestial Odyssey was this one, but it's the same format. The Celestial Nirvana is this. You know, it's not the big Mothership packaging, but I like that it's got more shadows in it, and it's lighter weight packaging, but I'd rather have more shadows. And, you know, the Motherships are great, but I also don't have, like, any, I don't care. I like that. That's fine. That's fine. The Motherships are very expensive. They're very expensive. They're very nice, but fewer shadows and more expensive, but they've got the hard clamshell case. So the other palette I'm considering is the Mothership Moonlit Seduction. I was going to say I wasn't going to get it, but now I'm looking at the picture and I'm like, oh gosh, it looks so pretty. It might happen. I'll let you know what I end up getting, but I love Pat McGrath eyeshadow. So if you're in a bougie mood, use the sale, get yourself some eyeshadows. Now, since I am so crazy in love with this moisturizer, I want to try some more stuff from Ole Henriksen. So I've got two things on my possible list. I'll probably only go with one, and I think I'll probably go with this one. The Beam Cream Smoothing Body Moisturizer with AHAs. And this appeals to me for two reasons. The AHAs in a body lotion, I need to get into that habit. I take really good care of my facial skincare, but I neglect the rest of my body. I also take good care of my hands and my feet, but my arms, my legs, the whole rest of my body, I neglect terribly. So I am very often that like person that if I take my fingernails along my arm, I will just have white, flaky scratches of skin. So I want to get into a better habit with my skincare, and I know my body skin could use some exfoliation. So I am looking at that product. The other thing that I am considering from Ole Henriksen, the Firmly Yours Dry Body Oil with Peptides. I got this idea in my head because I recently tried another brand's dry body oil, and it was just like a sample as I was passing through a store, and I really liked it. Concept of like oil hydration, but sinks into your skin like in a flash and then is totally dry, no oil residue whatsoever. I like that concept. That appeals to my dry skin. So because I'm in love with Ole Hendrickson all of a sudden, I want to try it because it's got peptides in it, and I like peptides. Peptides are good, and it goes along with my whole theme of getting better at my body skincare. Next up on my list, I had this up my list because this is a possibility, my Lord Jones Acid Mantle Repair Moisturizer. I have a cleansing balm on my list to try. I've never tried this brand, Wishful, the Clean Genie Makeup Removing Cleansing Balm. I just love cleansing balms. You know, I kind of have like a mild obsession with them. So that might be something I will get to test out and compare to my other cleansing balms. The last makeup or skincare thing I have on my wish list right now is from the Inky List. It's the Polyglutamic Acid Hydrating Serum. Whew. Let me make sure I got that word right. Polyglutamic. Yes, I think I got all the syllables in there. Polyglutamic acid, assuming I'm saying it right. I hope so. It's kind of like hyaluronic acid. So you know how we talk about hyaluronic acid and it attracts moisture, and kind of the way it works is it gets deep into your skin. It pulls moisture from all over the place to kind of be like right at the surface of your skin, and that makes you look plump and youthful and fresh and beautiful and all hydrated and good, right? Well, polyglutamic acid, did I get it? Glutamic, yes. Oh, this word is like new to me, so it's not in my lexicon yet. Polyglutamic acid works similarly to hyaluronic acid, but it's got larger molecules, so it doesn't sink as deeply into your skin. So what it's really doing is hanging out toward the surface of your skin and, again, collecting and absorbing the moisture that comes around to it and holding on to it. It kind of gives you a better moisture barrier to keep your existing moisture in your skin. Just like hyaluronic acid, it's really flexible in terms of being able to use it along with other skincare products and actives. You don't really have to pay too much attention to, you can use it with retinol, you can use it with vitamin C, it's all good. Same kind of thing. And polyglutamic acid and hyaluronic acid can be used together at the same time. And then you kind of get the best of both worlds, the deep sinking moisture pulling and then the barrier protection moisture pulling. And I'm curious. I've never used anything with glutamic, acid in it. So I'd like to try it. So I have that on my list. I also have from the Sephora collection, and I need to check because the Sephora collection items have, I believe, a 30% discount, but I don't know if that's just their makeup or if it extends to their makeup bags. One of their organizers, the Pack It All organizer, I have had my eye on for a long time. I like the 2 Sephora collection organizers that I currently travel with, and the only reason I haven't bought this one is because I don't really need another one. Because I love the 2 that I have and I don't need more than 2. However, I really like how this one's organized, and mine is quite a few years old at this point. Both of mine are. And maybe I just want a new one, okay? Maybe I just want a new one. And if it's 30% off, I probably won't be able to resist. It's one of those, like, don't need it, definitely want it, probably gonna get it. Such is life. That's what happens in the Sephora sale. So that is my wish list. Those are some of my recommendations. I have done tons of videos on my Sephora wish lists and sale recommendations. I only really talk about, when I mention my favorites, it's things that I know and I love and I use. So feel free to go back and grab some of those in the past. I wholeheartedly stand behind those recommendations. And let me know, what are you guys getting? What's on your list? What am I leaving out? What have I missed? What do I need to make sure I check out? Leave comments down below. Tell me what you're getting in the new sale. Getting in the sale. I'm stoked. Very excited. Very excited. But for the first time in many years, I didn't hit Rouge this year. So I can't shop yet for a couple more days because I'm only VIB. It's okay though. I'm still going to shop because discounts. there you have it. My run through the Sephora sale recommendations of mine. Let me know what you guys are getting in the sale. I would love to hear your favorites down below. And as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. Ziva says thank you too. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.